Episode 2 has a lot going down, so here we go. Hi everybody, and welcome to my recap of episode 2 of The Ultimatum, Queer Love. And if you missed my episode 1 recap, go check it out now. Thanks. So we're on dates. First we have Lexi and Vanessa. Lexi says that she's more excited about her dates with Vanessa than worrying about her ultimatum with Ray, so that's saying a lot. And Vanessa says that she kind of lost the spark with Xander and they're more best friend vibes than romantic vibes. My love of Lexi goes up 100% when she says, and I'm quoting, "Vanessa is a bull in a china shop. She's wildly inappropriate and slightly offensive." Who comes up with that? Did she not have a writer? She should be a writer because that was clever. I loved it. Lexi then goes on a date with Mal, who she compares to a warm cup of tea and very home and welcoming and warm. Mal thinks the foundation to any relationship is a friendship. She really connects well with Lexi. After Mal asks Lexi if Lexi has ever been with a black woman, Lexi said, "No, I was more surprised I was into a mask presenting person than a black person." Lexi also asks if Mal has ever been with a Jewish woman. And Mal said no. And so they kind of had a laugh over being each other's first something. So that was cute. And I like them together. Mal seems super sure of Lexi. Like, super sure, like, let's get into this trial marriage now. Whereas Lexi is very on the fence about if she should go Mal or Vanessa. I'm a little worried for Mal in this situation because Mal seems very sure, and Lexi, I can see Lexi going with Vanessa, to be honest, just because of the fun of it. But I think Vanessa's a wild card, and Vanessa, I don't even know who she's gonna choose because she's all over the place. Tiff and Sam are on a date, and Tiff is talking about how she never felt supported and how she really likes how Sam is communicative way more than Tiff's previous partner, Mildred. I had to think about it. And both Sam and Tiff are open to dating each other more. Mildred and Ozzy are on their date, and Ozzy is saying how she's actually kind of finding herself during this whole experiment, and she's trying to find herself and her calling. And she did come to terms with actually deciding that she wants a life with somebody and a marriage, which was opposite to what she came in because she was issued the ultimatum. Mildred, for her part, wants a can't breathe without you sort of love, but also perfectly imperfect. I feel like that's a lot to ask for. I don't know. Vanessa and Ray, Lexi's ex, go on a date, and they're outside on like a park bench with a blanket over them and with some glow sticks, and they're just kind of hanging out. Vanessa asks deep questions and is trying to get Ray out of her shell, and it turns into a compliment session, which isn't all bad, and they're just like, "Ooh, tell me more about myself." And Ray's like, "I don't like compliments, but okay, I'll do it." Vanessa says she can't figure Ray out, but is interested in learning more. Vanessa says in her confessional that she's worried about being a homewrecker because of the situation with Lexi and Ray. Yoli and Xander, they are really hitting it off, and they're talking about kids and family and how they both want to carry, but then have the kids be ours as opposed to one or the other, which is something I guess Vanessa had said to Xander at one point, which was really strange. Like, this is my kid because I had it, and this is your kid because you had it, as opposed to these are our children. Seems weird. So Yoli says, of course, I would want them to be ours because we are a unit, we are a family, as opposed to this weird separation thing. They both get super close, and they're holding hands a little bit, looking into each other's eyes. And Yoli says that she's way more into sex than her ex was. And Xander says how she's a very sexual person. And so we shall see. I like these two together. I like them. Now Lexi's going on a second date with Vanessa. Lexi tells Vanessa that she's scared of her because she's just like so wild and out there as opposed to Lexi. Vanessa explains how she's so not ready for marriage or to settle down. She may never want it. she gets bored and that Xander is the closest thing that she'll ever get to probably a long-term relationship. Vanessa also says that she doesn't think that Xander will find anybody in this experiment, that she is the best and Xander wouldn't want anybody else, which is interesting because Xander is really hitting it off with Yoli. Vanessa also says that Xander had said that Xander was asexual or would be asexual if it had not been for Vanessa, which is also weird to say, especially after seeing Xander and Yoli getting kind of touchy-feely. So I'm wondering who to believe here. I think the proof is in the pudding and Vanessa's a little shady. Lexi then gets pissed and asks why Vanessa is even here if she isn't at risk of losing Xander and she doesn't want to settle down with everybody. What is the point of her being here? She just wants to play around with everybody and get a hall pass. While Xander pines for her, I guess. Lexi says that Vanessa seems shut off to the whole process and calls Vanessa fake. Dun dun dun. That's like one of the worst things you can be called in these reality shows, just FYI. I caught you. They're both boys, so this is perfect for Ultimatum Queer Love. Guys, this isn't appropriate. That evening, there is another cocktail party kind of a situation. Ray and Vanessa are talking to each other, and Vanessa's being very loud about, oh, it's gonna be so great when we live together, making sure Lexi can hear everything. Lexi pulls Ray aside to try and warn her about Vanessa, saying that she's not there for the right reasons, and Lexi knows what she needs and wants by the end of this whole thing. And Ray is worried that she's not enough for Lexi, but she's trying to get there. Mal and Yoli, who originally came in together, have a conversation, and Mal is telling Yoli that Mal is kind of into Lexi, and that Mal is giving Yoli her permission, her blessing, not permission, her blessing to explore things with Xander if Yoli wants to. And it's a very difficult situation. Again, I couldn't do it. It's a very difficult conversation. Yoli ends up crying and trying to ends the conversation just because it's too much to handle at the moment. Tiff and Mildred catch up. They originally came together, and it seems like Mildred is trying to break up with Tiff because she says that they're really not connecting anymore or ever did. And to kind of prove that point, when they're talking, as Mildred's saying they're not communicating very well, Tiff kisses her and says, like, how's that for communication? And it's like, that's the problem. You're not communicating, you're covering up the issues with sex. So Mildred ends up crying and walking away, and that ends up making Tiff kind of upset, but nothing really is final here. As Vanessa is loudly talking about being a successful influencer, Lexi is talking to Yoli about how much they don't like Vanessa and how fake she is. Vanessa and Xander then have a moment to talk. Vanessa asks Xander how she's doing and if she's connecting with anybody, and Xander tells her, yeah, Xander's connecting with Yoli. And Vanessa is really mad about it because she and Yoli don't get along. And so she cries, saying that Xander doesn't care about Vanessa because Xander likes Yoli, somebody who wasn't nice to Vanessa. Xander shouldn't, go with who she prefers, who works well with her. She should go with who's ever is nice to Vanessa. Don't like this. Thankfully, Xander does stick up for herself and says, that's not fair to me. This experience goes both ways. So I shouldn't have to limit my potential partners to just people who you get along with. That doesn't make any sense. Vanessa, in her confessional, is very upset and saying that if the ultimatum were to be asked now, she would say no, and that she's realizing that her and Xander are not meant for each other. It is the choice night. So everybody's looking lovely, and they're all around a nice dinner table. I don't even know if they get to eat. And our host Joanna is back and looking lovely. Still irrelevant, so whatever. We open with Xander talking about her experience so far, and she says that Yoli reminds her of an ex, And then Vanessa gets very upset and is like, hey, what ex are you talking about? Because we've been together for 4 years and I haven't heard about this ex. And she kind of makes like a fight with Xander when it's like, ooh, that was something you should probably talk about, but now is not the time. While Xander continues to try and talk, Vanessa's mouthing across the table, like, ooh, I just hit myself in the face, is mouthing across the table to Xander as she's trying to talk about who she's actually connecting with and something actually meaningful. So everybody's kind of pissed, everybody sees it, and everybody's mad at Vanessa for doing it. Ultimately though, Xander picks Yoli. Yoli loves Xander's heart and family values, and also picks Xander. So they are new trial wives. It's Ray's turn to talk, and she starts by saying that she likes Vanessa and how she can see having a lot of fun with Vanessa as a trial wife. Vanessa again takes over the conversation and talks about her dates with Ray, about her dates with Lexi, who no longer wants to talk about her or to her and like hates her, and Matt, who only spoke to her like once and they immediately were like, nope, not gonna happen. After this, Lexi calls out Vanessa for not being here for the right reasons and not being able to give in to this experience. Mildred backs up Lexi against Vanessa, but Xander stands up for Vanessa and is like, nobody understands her like I do. So, you know, it is what it is. Like, don't jump on somebody. Like, let's stop that part. But Lexi maintains that Vanessa is fake and she's trying to protect Ray, her ex, from hooking up with Vanessa and ultimately getting hurt. And Lexi also says that Vanessa just wants fame. With all this, it's Ray's turn to pick. Ray stands up and picks. Don't hold your breath because they're not going to tell us this episode. So you'll have to come back for episode 3. Sorry, I didn't make the rules. What do y'all think? Who do you think are good couples in the original? Who do you think are good couples new so far? Who's hitting it off? What do you guys think about Vanessa? Do you think she's here for fame? Do you think she's in it for, I don't know, what do you think she's in it for? I don't know. I'm bored. I have nothing to do. I want to know your thoughts. Please tell me. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and come back for episode 3 because we need to find out who Ray picks. Sorry. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.